Hey everyone, I'm turning off my webcam for this next one, um, and I want to spend just a few minutes walking through or walking around the course site. So all of you are familiar with As You Learn now, and I will say this, I'm going to have a separate sort of 90-second how to get started um, video about the writing tools, the publisher website. You'll only have to go there, a handful of times, but it's and not really until next week. So, but I still want to upload a separate video for that. So this is just about As You Learn and where I've put things. And you'll notice like the same information might be in multiple places, and that's sort of, I structure things in a way that I always build courses, and I try to build courses in a way that I need them. So I have to be able to turn a corner and run smack into the wall that I need to find with my face. So not that you need that, but it helps me. So to have things sort of that accessible. So if you find that it's hard to find something, certainly the first week one's reflection is about that. If there's anything confusing or that is after kind of walking or roaming around the course site tomorrow or over the next few days, if there's something that's still a bit glitchy for you or hard for you to remember where it's located, let me know, and please put it in that reflection. So, and I'll come back to that question certainly in a couple weeks. But all right, so that's so if you open As You Learn, you're all familiar with it. I have there are two sections, 104 and 102. You're all lumped together into the same meta course, but for your group work, small group work, I've sorted you by section. So I have each section broken down into four separate, four small groups per section. So, so just so you're aware of that. All right, contact information is always right here, and it should be visible. The last time I pulled it up on my phone, I could see it. So if for some reason the mobile app gets an upgrade, then I'll pop the contact information, right here at the top of the in the top module, just so you can find it fast. So if you scroll down, this top module will always stay visible, and I've labeled things, by week. So you'll see that weeks 3, 4, and 5, 3 through 6 are not visible yet. But in the top module, you'll have a link to this video and the other videos. And I'll add to this channel as the semester unfolds, and I'll eventually just paste that link at the top here. So the course guide or syllabus, course links, I'm going to open that up, and this is what you'll find. So these are things you're going to use pretty much weekly. Flipgrid is going to be used, and for your introductions, sometimes you'll be using it for discussion forum responses. Not at first, but in a few weeks you're going to use Flipgrid for discussion forum responses and some peer responses. Screencast-O-Matic, you're going to use that at least a few times to do peer reviews for draft work, as well as typed peer reviews and notes on the Achieve website. Zoom, clearly you know what that is. Screencast-O-Matic channel is where I'm going to post all my videos. And then I also might, add to this list a little bit. Let me back up a bit. Announcements, I'll move that to the top later. And then Ask Away. Anything confusing, I try to get to the questions that people pose in the, people call this lots of different things, Ask It, Basket, etc. Whatever you post here is public, and I will try, and I get to this at the end of each day. So if it's a private message or question, please send that in an email or a text to me. Don't post it here. And if you do have a question that isn't necessarily too private, before you email me, just check this discussion forum and make sure that that question hasn't already been stated and answered in this forum. So, okay. So there's that. And if I just want to look at weeks 1 and 2, you'll see that there's something that's pretty, things are going to look the same. It's very repetitive. There are learning objectives and activities for each week. After week 1, the learning activities for weeks 2 through 6 are pretty much, or 2 through 5 are pretty much the same. So I'm going to open up week 2 so you can see what it's going to look like. You have really 3 due dates throughout the week. The Tuesdays and Fridays are when you'll be turning in the weekly work. So by Tuesday you should have read the material that I've posted for the week and answered the prompts in the discussion forum. So sometimes you'll be typing those, handwriting those. Sometimes you'll be just doing a very brief video response. So, and then posting that by Tuesday. The prompts are about the readings, and the prompts are also related to future draft work, so, and usable in future drafts. So Wednesdays you'll have a draft due, and sometimes a major draft, a new draft and a revision due. So, but Wednesdays are typically draft days, and then Fridays you'll have to go back to the discussion forum and respond to 2 peers' responses. And right there in the forum, and you won't have 15 people to choose from. You're in groups of 4 and 5, and I want you to just kind of go around the circle, if you will, and don't pick the same 2 people every week. I want you to switch it up. So the resource post and reflection is due also on Friday. So these are also, I'll talk about these later when I go through the weekly work video. But right now I just wanted you to know where things are located. So, okay, I'm going to go back. So those are the learning activities. Readings are separate in a separate page. If there's a video, most of the time, if I can, and there are no copyright issues, I will embed it, or an audio file. And then I'm trying really hard to make all the, the readings the PDFs shared links on Google Drive. So this, if you click this will take you to Google Drive, and then I have this shared excerpt from the autobiography of Malcolm X, and yeah, so yeah, there it is. Okay, let me go back, and then readings are separate, and from Google Drive certainly you can download the shared file as well. So. And then discussion forum 2 and peer response. So this is where you'll post your responses to the prompts. And these prompts are just like free writes, except they're not timed per se, but they're written. And we start out. I've sort of really front loaded the discussion forums, and I will reel us in when we hit midterm, so they will shrink in size, if you will. So if you see 2 single-space pages after the readings, that might seem like a lot right now, but I mean, 2 single-space pages, like a single-space page per reading or per response, is really not that much. But again, I'm going to dial it back after midterm, and then with peer responses, 200 words, 150 to 200 words. Again, it's just a very candid, very informal response. Both of them are. So the only thing I ask is, I want you to relax, be yourself, and respect each other's space. I think, yeah, you'll understand why I say that. Certainly Malcolm X is probably the easiest reading that we have this semester. So for some folks, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. He may maybe not, but we have some good discussions. And then here's draft 1. I'm not going to open this up. Well, maybe I'll click on it so you can see how it works, and then, but I'm not going to get into it. So, so there we are. And then I will talk about that a little later. So, let me go back, and then there's reflection, and then post one question about the course that you find challenging or confusing. And again, it's just a quick 2 to 3, just a couple minutes. So there's that. So and the rest of the weeks roll out like that. What's not here is another video. So I will have this channel for my videos. I'll have the instructor video channel link at the top of this top module so you can get to it quickly. But I will also embed individual videos in specific modules. So one thing I do at the end of each week in the summer is a weekly podcast. So on Friday afternoon, I open up Screencast-O-Matic and I answer questions that haven't been answered yet or that are popular questions. And then I also do a look ahead and talk about what's coming up in next week and how it's all connected to what you just did. And so, yeah, and I try to keep those are under 4 minutes or less, usually, in the 3 minute range, 3 to 4 minute range. So it's just a nice way of tying up any loose ends and keeping us on track into the next week. So, and that'll be weekly. I do that every week. So the first one will pop up. I did the video on Fridays, Saturday morning at the latest, before Monday. Usually by Saturday at lunch, you'll see my podcast, if you will, for the upcoming week at the top of that next week. So, all right, so that's it. That's the only thing that's not preset per se that I make on the fly as we as the course unfolds. So, all right, I will check back, and this should be the longest. The second longest video. But everything after this should be pretty brief. So I wanted to get a lot into this before I cut myself off. So again, let me know if you can't find something, and I will give you some direction. All right, have a great night.